Hey everyone. So Amit, we have talked about people having different identities on different networks on internet, and we have talked in elaborate manner about that. I see a different trend happening that people are taking use of avatars as well. What's your take on the futures of people having avatars instead of being themselves? And in the later part, the commercialization that can be done on avatars.
Yeah, so the internet, as we've discussed, is full of people and organizations of people,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they have interactions between people and between organizations and between. So it's a
yeah,
network of networks. We've talked about some of these things, and the way you identify anybody on the internet has to do with their name and their
yeah.
details that are behind the name. So, for example,
Mm,
Apple is a name, and then you know what
mm,
it is. It's a company, it's an organization, and it has all those things.
yeah,
Amit is a name. It's a
mm,
person, which Amit, So there's
mm,
tax, there's government identities, there's passports, there's so many different ways in which identity can be uh, ascertained and
mm.
obtained and ascertained both. And these are the identity providers. So a government is an identity provider. They have a birth certificate and so on,
Yeah.
nationality, passport,
Mm,
identity
mm,
card, this and that.
mm.
And other platforms also provide. Facebook provides an identity and so on and so forth. You can log in
Yeah,
with Facebook, for example.
yeah, yeah.
So these are providers of identity, and
Mm,
the person doesn't change. I have an identity provided by so many people, LinkedIn identity, Facebook identity, and so on. And so in a way, we call
exactly.
these personas or
Mm,
profiles of me in various
yeah,
places.
yeah,
So what
yeah.
exactly is me and what exactly is a profile, and what is the use of the profile, which is a brand or some digital representation of me,
Mm,
and then the ability to connect with other entities which are represented
mm,
by profiles,
mm.
and then to do transactions between these particular entities, but to make
Yeah.
sure that they're all real people and real
Mm,
organizations and legal and not shady and da 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 da. So
yeah, that's
we're
there. Mm,
separating out the notion of what you call yourself and what
mm,
it looks like on any internet platform.
mm.
And we're separating that from the actual entity. So an
Yeah.
actual person
Mm,
or not, an entity can have many personas
mm.
and
Yeah.
many profiles and many
Mm,
avatars, which is nothing but a version of you,
yeah.
right? And it can
Mm,
look and feel like anything. Nowadays, with
mm.
digital media, you don't even know if you are talking right now to a real person or is this itself a bot,
Yeah,
or an
that
AI.
that happens. Yeah, yeah, that
You
happens
you may well be
more than
talking
we
to an AI
realize.
right now,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't know
that
it.
happens yeah, that happens more than actually we realize. We don't even know.
So on the internet, you don't know who's who.
Mm, mm.
So what you know are their avatars. So the
Yeah.
avatar becomes a first party valuable thing, which is called a
Mm,
brand or a
mm,
person or a
mm,
personality, right?
mm,
Or a celebrity or whatever it is. Those are
mm.
the attributes of these avatars. Some
Yeah.
avatars may be unknown. Nobody knows because they're not popular.
Mm,
They don't do very much on the
mm,
internet. But some
mm,
avatars could be very popular. In fact, you could create an avatar for a celebrity or some brand that was
mm.
powered by an agency
Yeah, that could happen.
that
Yeah.
has no,
Mm,
yeah, it is in fact the way it's done, right? These are all
mm,
professionally managed and so on. So as the cost and ease of using avatars become much more simpler and people can just create
mm,
artificial people, basically,
mm. Yeah.
we're talking about metaverse citizens, metizens,
Mm.
I've been told they're called. So
Netizens. That's a
that's what
good,
I
good
liked
to,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I started saying metizens.
Netizens.
So if you want to be a metizen,
Mm,
you can duplicate yourself. You can clone yourself now and create avatars that look
mm,
different from what you are, but are still tracked
mm,
back to your real identity, but behind the scenes, and only in the case of legal need or transaction need or whatever it is.
mm.
So you are allowed to now play in this new internet with various ideas about who you are, what you are, what you want to be, and so on. And that's what is an avatar. And now you can actually connect that to a wallet or a bank, and you can, that's a full-on business, and you can sell that, right? Because you can run a company that all it does is it creates these profiles or avatars, gets them up to a certain following in various verticals, and then literally sells it. I mean, people are willing to buy that.
So I have this sort of a double-sided sword question, because on one hand, avatars can give people the freedom to be whoever they want to be without the fear of being identified. Sometimes that happens and it becomes an hesitation with a lot of people. On the other hand, avatars can, like, if it's done anonymously, avatars from the perspective of public, avatars can lead to a sense of doubt in public's mind or people's mind, that whom they're following or whom they are actually talking to or whom they are idolizing in some manner. That sort of becomes a double-sided thing.
I mean, how does the real world operate? Right? There are people that you follow that should not be followed. And there are people that people follow celebrities. And what is the big influence that celebrities have on politics? Who knows? But like, they have an outsized say in it. As if what
they have an outsized say.
what The Rock has to say about, or some big Brad Pitt or somebody, or some big famous actress has to say about what political things are happening, has some bearing on it. I mean, everybody has an opinion. That's fine. But what has that got to do with following them and listening to them? And like, I mean, everybody has to have knowledge, yes, awareness, and be up to date on current affairs and stuff. But that doesn't make it like, it's a peanut gallery today, right? Everyone has an opinion about everything. Why not just focus?
That's true.
Right. So the question is not on, oh, what should I do when everybody has an opinion? Who should I listen to? That's your own situation. You should not be listening to, like, if I ask people, hey, where do you get your news from? And you say Facebook.
Then,
Facebook has a news tab, it's called news. But if you go and see that, it's not that different from like, these sort of, when you go to the grocery store and you check out, you see these like gossipy kind of, flashy, nonsensical, clickbaity type of nonsense, right? But that's what it's like, driving through anyway, point is that everyone's making decisions on their own, right? We're talking about self-actualization and keeping people free and all that. So we're not saying one or the other. We're giving back the people the very ability to choose who they follow and to create a persona that they want to create. But at the same time, if the persona that you're creating wants to operate only anonymously, then there are going to be platforms in the world where you can do that. And if you're going to go to those platforms and say, oh, I don't know who this is and all that nonsense, it's an anonymous platform, right? It's an anonymous platform, like Twitter. Twitter's an anonymous platform. You can't go there and say, oh, I have outsized, these people are like, why are you going to an anonymous platform if you want authenticated news? Right?
That's
if you want to go,
that should.
Right. So if you want authenticated news, then go to a platform that has authenticated users. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that obvious? So the whole point is, by enabling us to do the right thing in the right place for the right context, and in a game, inside a game universe, you don't need to be known who you are, because it's a game. Everybody knows it's a game, right? And it's like, you might be doing some crazy stuff there, and it's like, very unusual that you would never do in the real world, but it's a game. Like those games that play, what is that, GTA and all these things, it's like kind of violent, to be honest, right? Like, but you wouldn't do that in the real world, and there's no like confusion about it. It's not like, oh, this avatar did this, why are they not getting arrested? It's a game, right? Nobody's expected to behave in legal ways there, because that's the type of game it is. So that's the type of platform it is. So what do you want to be? It's very simple. Do you want to be a place of civil, respectful dialogue, or do you want to be, what everybody, and that's, both are good, right? Like, there's 4chan in the world. I don't have anything against it. If you want to go there and do that thing, I mean, we're free people, right?
It's up to the
should not be,
person's choice.
it should, as long as it doesn't impact others in a negative way, and you're not harming others and stuff, which is why the legal framework is required. It
So
all
at the back
operates
end,
within the broad legal framework.
Yeah, that's what I was coming up to, that some sort of legality is required at the back end, even if it's sort of anonymous to the public, but some sort of legality, connection with the actual person is required, and then it's up to the people, whatever they
If they
want to
so
do.
choose, right? If they so choose.
Yeah,
I mean, you could,
if they choose.
like you could well have a platform owned by a very well-known company, for example, that chooses to create an anonymous, metaverse. To imagine that reality is what people say, and that is reality is not reality. That's just what people say.
It's their opinion. I mean, like.
So everybody has an opinion.
Yeah. No, but that's like, this is something which is being talked about a lot, not like recently, but since quite some time. And I wanted to bring it up so that we have, as a listener, we have more clarity on what we want to perceive. Because since people can attribute to different identities, it's up to the person who's listening to who they want to listen to, who they want to follow, and what they want to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, one has to be honest, right? Like, one already behaves differently on Facebook, differently on Twitter, differently on LinkedIn, differently on, Reddit. It's different. Each thing is different.
Yeah.
Right. So why they expect you see some profile on the internet saying something? What is it that you expect them? Truth and honesty, and only their, like like their inner truths are being revealed to everybody, or what? Like, I mean, no one is doing that. Why are they suddenly expecting others to do it?
Yeah.
Right? It's just ridiculous.
That's so true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I mean, it's just all nonsense, So we just focus on the reality, which is everybody needs to connect, and everybody has, ideas about what they want to be and how they want to be perceived in the world, and they want to be able to project that. And we want to take away the, whatever they might think about how they look and feel and where they are and location wise and all that. Take it completely out of the equation. Raw human potential.
Yeah. That's where we are tapping. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
We're talking about avatars have no meaning, because it's the actual human being inside that has to do the creative part of telling an AI what to talk about.
Yeah.
Right? It's
that's
not
the
that
whole value.
Yeah, the value of the human being is that the AI is going to be evaluated as good or bad by a human, not by an AI. An AI doesn't know whether it's intelligent or not intelligent. It is just numbers, right? It has no meaning. It is just seeing the world in terms of, the current state and what you call the previous, stored state. Current state means the state, that's the past, right? So that's it. That's all. It's basically a state machine. So it has no clue as to the humans that are involved there and what it means to them. Meaning comes from human beings. And this whole machine is only to service humans, not, to service corporations. Yes, it's made of humans, but only a small number of humans benefit when just the corporation benefits, because it's not owned by everybody. The internet is owned by nobody and everybody. And corporations have to play a proper role there. And in fact, what we're talking about, frankly, is that each and every avatar becomes a corporation. Right. So why people today have to be subjected to the tyranny that corporations are people and they have rights like people, that's insane. But okay, if then corporations are people and they have rights like people, fine, then all people should become corporations. Because
that stands.
And if you do that, instantly a lot of your day-to-day working related expenses are tax-free. The work that you do, you're working from home, you're doing all that stuff, you're talking to clients, you're doing all that stuff, trying it too hard to make a living, should be expensible.
That's
because corporations do that, right?
They do.
So, and then they say there are paid people. Fine, then that's an avatar, right? A corporation is an avatar.
Oh, what an interesting perspective on corporations and avatars and how we should perceive value. Thanks so much, Amit. Thanks so much, Amit, for such a lovely conversation on a very different note.